somebody so much that you're just willing to kill yourself?
And again, nothing in excess is good for you. Like
Nothing.
nothing. So just to
And
be like, let me just down this entire bottle, like that's not good for anyone.
you're not gonna down the Tylenol and then a day later prove, see, Trump's wrong, there's no
Right.
correlation. Like,
Right.
you're not gonna find that out until your kid is 6 months.
Yeah.
So what was the point? Why didn't I know better?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't I do my own research? Or why didn't I, separate the immunizations?
Mhm.
Like, why didn't I take more, like, because you're trusting your doctor, you're thinking, okay, they know what they're doing, this is what they're telling me to do. So I think we're getting really defensive because it's almost like, well, I could have done something different.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to hear that because I'm already in this situation and there's nothing I can
Yeah.
do.
Do you remember being super emotional when you found out?
Yeah. Had like a breakdown after maybe like a year and a half. They said he would never talk. There's so many things that they said that he would never
Never
do.
do.
And I was just like, wow, there's definitely a grieving process because you grieve the life that you thought your kid's
Yeah.
gonna have. So you're just like devastated for them. You're like, what is their life going to look like?
Is there anything that you would go back and change how you did if you could? Immunizations, like
But it's tough.
hello guys. Welcome to another episode of Girl Bye. I'm Mick.
And I'm Amanda.
And today we're going to talk about something that's very close to home, autism awareness. But first, we wanted to recap a little bit on our last episode. You guys have seen it by now. It was on Charlie Kirk, and we also had his memorial following that episode. So kind of just wanted to kind of recap on that, talk about that a little bit, not too long, and then we're going to jump into that topic, autism awareness, which is very close to home and very important and special to both of us, especially my sister.
Yes.
All right. So, did you watch the?
Yeah, I did. Some of it. I had to work in the morning, but I did, I didn't really watch, I didn't get to see any of the worship, a couple things, but I watched Erica's message.
It was long. I didn't turn it on until 11. Apparently, it started like worship was going on for like 2 or 3 hours before that.
Yeah,
And it went till about 4. Yeah, I missed church because I was watching that.
we went to church.
Yeah, I should have went to church. I should have known that they were gonna play it again,
I don't what did
but
they?
they did, or
Oh,
there you could watch it somewhere else,
yeah.
like, if you wanted to, but I was just so captivated by it and, really didn't think it was gonna be that long. I thought maybe a couple hours, but
It's almost like a Harvest Crusade type
it
of,
really was,
right?
and it was not what I mean, I knew, like, obviously, I knew Charlie Kirk was big in his faith and his family and all of that, but I just had no idea that every single speaker was going to basically preach the gospel and
Yeah.
talk about Jesus. I thought that was pretty incredible. And just looking at all the people in there, the worship, like you could just tell the place was spirit filled. I mean, people were waiting in line at 3, 4 in the morning
Yeah.
because it was first come, first serve just to get in. I feel like we haven't seen something like that in
No.
I don't even know when, if we've ever seen anything like that for a person's memorial that wasn't, like the president.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty incredible. Did you did you see any of the speakers?
Yeah,
No.
I just watched Kirk. YouTubed it later,
Oh,
so I watched
Erica.
her whole
Yeah,
speech,
she
yeah.
was incredible. Very, I mean, that moment when she said, "I forgive him," I mean, you could tell that she's still like, it was more of like, I'm forgiving him because that's what God would want me to
Yeah,
do, and that's what Charlie would want me to do.
yeah,
Not that she is, like, fully there. She's like you could tell she was wrestling with it, she's like, closed her eyes and said it, which I think was even more powerful because it wasn't really like, "I'm doing this because I truly forgive him as a human. I'm
yeah.
doing it because that's what my God and my Charlie would want." But yeah, she was unbelievable. I thought Marco Rubio actually really surprised me. One of our well, in my Bible study group, the pastor's wife is in my group, and she is friends with his wife, Marco's wife, and they spoke, and she said that Marco didn't have, like, notes. He didn't have write his thing
Off the
out, and it
cuff?
wasn't on the prompter like everybody else. Everyone had their stuff on the prompter, and he was like, "I'm just gonna go up there and let God speak through me," and he fully was just like preaching the gospel, and he's like you could tell that he was so filled that it wasn't just something he was
Yeah.
reading, which I thought that when I was watching it, and then when Kathy said that later, I was like, "Wow," like, you could really tell that was something that just came out of him and
Maybe I'll go
something.
back and watch that because
Yeah,
I didn't.
it was really cool, and I was actually really surprised by, Trump's son. He he's funny,
Yeah.
but he did really well.
Dude, Trump's
I think
hilarious. People
I
get
think
so, like, bent out of shape with his jokes, but I'm not
I know.
surprised that his son's like
Sometimes
that.
there's I know. Sometimes you're just like it's funny because I was waiting for hours to watch this, and then my friend came over, and we were supposed to go to lunch, and as soon as Erica was over, I was like, "Okay, I feel like I can go now," because I was like, Trump was gonna come on. I was like
Yeah.
sometimes I get nervous at what he's gonna say, and I was
Yeah.
like, "It's been so amazing up till now, and I
He's gonna
do
just be
love
up there saying
Trump,
something stupid.
but I can't, like, I don't wanna see it right now," you know? And, like, sure enough, later, my husband was like, "Yeah, he said some silly things, but, we know Trump, we love Trump." Excuse you. And
Yeah.
but,
But
yeah.
sometimes you just, like, like, it reminded me obviously, it wasn't, like, the same situation, but in Steel Magnolias when she's, like, crying and at the funeral?
Yes, and the other one screams at her, or
Well,
when she screams.
she screams, she's like, "Oh, I'm fine," and then I forget, Weezer's character says, like, "Knock her
Oh,
lights
yeah, yeah,
out,"
yeah.
and he was like, "It was just to, like,
Yeah,
we needed to cut the tension," and I
yeah,
think that's what
what
Trump
Trump
did.
did.
Yeah, he says stupid stuff, but, I mean, he's hilarious, I'm sorry. Like, I think he's funny, but I'm sure that's controversial, but sometimes you need to just lighten the up.
Yeah.
Like, just breathe,
What did
you
he
know?
say? Like, I don't
He's like, "I hate
participate.
my
I hate my
opponents."
opponent.
But
He's like, "I
right.
know Charlie wouldn't like that. Sorry,
But
Charlie."
girl, these opponents, like, tried to assassinate
Yeah,
him, throw him in jail, throw his entire family in jail.
yeah,
Like, rightfully so, he should be pissed.
yeah,
The takedown was years, took years off his life. So I understand. And most of us try this like virtue signaling, but we're all not as good as Charlie and
yeah. No,
Erica's,
for sure.
like, when somebody does something wrong to us, like, we're
Yeah,
pissed. So he
yeah.
was like, I feel like he's got a place to be upset. Now, like, did he need to present that on the world stage? Probably not, but
But he doesn't have a
that's
filter, and
Trump.
he's not
He's
really
got no
worried about having a
filter.
filter, and I think, like you said, you touched on it, his response is very human, it's
Yeah,
normal, and it's,
yeah.
like, things that we all think, but, like, you're saying,
Nobody
"Oh,
wants to
because
say.
he's a president, he shouldn't say that, or he's not allowed to say that," but it is a very human response to feel
Yeah,
that way, and not everybody is like Charlie Kirk, not everybody can turn the other cheek, and
right.
it's just
We strive for that, but
yeah,
it's just not real. But that's what made Charlie so special. So
yeah. I mean,
one of a kind.
the amount of people that showed up for him, and
Yeah.
people are just don't understand it or don't get it or wanna knock on it, and because of Trump's silly comments, say that
Yeah, they
it
just latch
wasn't
on to that one
yeah,
thing, "I hate my opponent."
that
Is
this
that not hate speech? It's like, you guys need to have context.
yeah,
That's what people love to do. They like to grab a soundbite without watching the episode, the clip, the speech in its entirety, and they'll just latch on and use it for their cause and blah, 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 and I'm just so over everybody at this point.
yeah.
I'm just like, "Girl."
Yeah, I think people are noticing, like, that there's, like, a spiritual awakening happening,
Yeah.
and people's eyes are being opened to that this is, again, not even left versus right, it's good versus evil,
Yeah.
and there's such a spiritual warfare going on that people showed up and they were filled with the Holy Spirit, and the 4.5, 5 hours before Trump came on, like, yes, Jesus and the gospel and all of that was very present, and I don't yeah, exactly, like, Trump doesn't diminish all of that
Right.
with the little things that he says,
Yeah.
and he's the president, and that's that. I mean, nothing I don't think he said anything extremely offensive, but people are running with it as
Of
always,
course.
so
Just like this next thing that they're running with, as we
yeah,
segue into our topic of the day,
yeah,
Tylenol causing autism, which is not what he said, not what
not what he
anybody said.
said.
Um, and we just saw today, I mean, we've been seeing it the last couple of days. He made some sort of statement about a correlation possibly between Tylenol and autism.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, today, some young woman OD'd on autism, OD'd on Tylenol, and is probably going to die. That is like
With, like, liver
TDS,
failure, right, or
yes,
something?
at its finest, but it's not at its finest, it's at its worst. And you didn't even know what
I was
TDS
gonna
was
say,
until
by the way,
today.
I was today years old when I found out what TDS is,
I
and
mean,
I'm very well aware of it, just didn't know there was
yeah,
a
it's it's just it's so like it's just so bizarre and so crazy to down a bottle or whatever, however many Tylenols just to prove a point
because they hate him so
because you hate
much.
him so much. And you made that decision for you and your
Your
kid.
kid, yeah.
And your husband, by the way,
Yeah.
because that's your husband's child too.
Didn't you say she's a nurse or something?
It said something about that. I mean, I don't know all the facts
Yeah,
about her.
I don't either.
Supposedly she was a nurse. But you hate somebody so much that you're just willing to like kill
And
yourself?
again, nothing in excess is good for you, like,
Nothing.
nothing. So just to
And
be like, "Let me just down this entire bottle," like, that's not good for anyone.
you wouldn't
Like,
know. You're not gonna down the Tylenol and then a day later prove, "See, Trump's wrong, there's no
right,
correlation." Like,
right.
you're not gonna find that out until your kid is 6 months.
Yeah,
So what was the point? Like,
yeah.
I don't
And
understand.
she was, like, 24
So
25
young.
weeks or something.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable and tragic, and the thing is we don't unlike them, we don't celebrate that. We're not
No.
because it's horrible, and it's sad that some person who probably doesn't have an education or I mean, I guess she had some sort of education, not knowledgeable enough to make a healthy decision like that for your body and for yourself, and now she's probably gonna die.
It's
So,
just hard for you to even wrap your head
it's
around, like, what I don't hate anything that much that I would endanger myself or my own body or the my child who's not even born. Like you said, it's like you're driven by that much hate
I
that
think they
you're like,
really have
I
to
just
believe it.
there's something like not right there
No.
though, mentally. I'm sorry. Like to just ha ha ha, I'm gonna prove Trump wrong by harming myself and
She
my
didn't think
baby.
she was going to, I guess. That's, like, what the derangement is. They don't get it.
But
They
any
don't
smart I'm sorry, like, any smart person is just common sense, let's just say common sense, like, nothing in excess is good for you, so it's not good for anyone to
Yeah,
down a bottle of Tylenol, like, it's just not, like,
yeah,
it has, warnings on the bottle
yeah,
for a reason, like, in excess is not good.
and Tylenol posted this,
Was it
2017 or
2017?
18
Yeah,
that we actually don't recommend it.
yeah.
So the
Don't
internet
get
is
pregnant.
forever,
Yeah.
and,
That's what I'm saying, this
this is
isn't
another
Trump
thing they're
didn't
just
wake
gonna,
up and,
like,
like
run with it.
have this original idea like, "Okay, I'm gonna tell everyone today, don't take Tylenol if you're pregnant." Like, he has people telling him this. Harvard, all that whole, group, I think it's Harvard, Yale, it's not just Harvard, they're
Yeah,
doing these studies and they're coming up with all these things, and again, like you said, Tylenol said this in 2017, "We don't recommend taking our product if you're pregnant."
yeah,
And so to say that, like, this is, like, Trump's original thinking and he's out to, like, just say ridiculous things that you're gonna prove wrong, like,
yeah,
he didn't come up with that.
that you're actually not gonna be able to prove wrong until months
No.
later. That's the
Yeah,
thing that I'm like,
yeah.
"Okay, so what's next?" Like, all these women who are going on, taking their little Tylenol with their bellies, their whatever,
Yeah,
and
like,
then
exactly, what is the
n
next step?
like,
Yeah.
what's the next step? Are you gonna touch base with us in, like, a year when your baby's born? Are we gonna know? Like, what's the I don't know. It's it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, it really is just bizarre.
And like you said, it's correlation, not causation. Like, they're not
Correlation,
saying
yeah.
taking the Tylenol causes
It
autism. They
depletes
just said
something
there's
in
a
your body
correlation.
that doesn't allow you to, like, fight off
Yeah.
toxins or something like that, so I don't know. If somebody said something like that, I'm like, there's a slight chance, I mean, this person is not credible whatsoever, or they're stupid or what I
Yeah.
still would be, like, a little scared, like,
Yeah.
let me just stay away from that. Let somebody else, like, you
It
know?
has to do with, like, the glucagon production or something
Yeah.
that it inhibits.
I don't know. Anyway, I know I probably did take Tylenol because I remember them saying and this was before 2018,
Yeah.
the last time I was pregnant was 2014. They said
And it was middle,
yeah,
okay.
I think they're like, "If you have any ailments that require, like, a pain medicine, take Tylenol," and I did the same thing in both
Yeah.
of my pregnancies, so Who knows? Like, who the heck knows what actually was different and why one kid was
Yeah.
autistic and one kid wasn't.
And even, like and Trump even said, like, "If you have to,
Yeah,
you can take it,"
right.
or if you have a severe fever,
Yeah,
not just a normal low-grade fever, like a severe
right.
fever, like, then take it. If the pain's too
Yeah.
much, you can t
It's
it's
the
like,
lesser of
that's
two
why yeah,
evils. It's like
exactly.
radiation isn't good for you, but if you have cancer, like I remember
Yeah,
when I had cancer and they're like, you can't be around anybody for 14 days. And I'm
yeah,
like, but I'm swallowing this.
yeah,
So what the heck? Like, what is that going to do to me? Like, they literally were like, your kid,
yeah.
remember I had to
No one can be
sequester.
around you, but you're like, "But
Nobody
I
could be
it's
around me. My kids had to be away from me
yeah,
for 14 days because I was literally radiating, but I
it was okay to
swallowed it.
take." Yeah,
But it's the lesser of two evils. So yes, if you're, in pain and you need some sort of pain medication, whatever. This topic is so crazy, but we could
we're
segue into
segueing into our topic of the day.
yeah. But another thing on that too, I think women are getting like really I think parents, especially since, I have an autistic kid. I think the problem with this is we already have our autistic kids, so it's kind of like it's too late for us in a sense. So we're hearing this, but I think the reason why people are getting defensive because it kind of makes the burden like, well, why didn't I know better?
Yeah,
Like, why didn't I do my own research, or why didn't I, separate the oh god, what's it called? I can't think of the word. Your immunizations.
mm,
Like, why didn't I take more, like, because you're trusting your doctor,
vaccines, yeah,
you're thinking, okay, they know what they're doing. This is what they're telling me to do. So I think we're getting really defensive because it's almost like, well, I could have done something different.
yeah, yeah,
And I don't want to hear that because I'm already in this situation and there's nothing I can
yeah,
do. So it's a hard pill to swallow to hear something like that because
yeah,
you're already living that. And then maybe it makes you feel a little guilty that you didn't do everything that you could have, or you didn't do enough research. And you'll go crazy thinking of, like, what caused it. So I'm saying I did the same thing with both of my pregnancies. Who the heck knows? So I feel like that's why if you have an autistic child, you get a little bit defensive when you hear it's hard to hear.
yeah,
It's hard for me to hear when RFK say things. I'm just like, "Okay, like, this is great, I guess, good." And then you feel guilty, like, I don't wanna change my son
yeah,
because he is who he is. But then again, it's like, okay, if this is preventable, like, would we wanna prevent it? It's
yeah,
really hard. I don't know if I would want him to change. I think it would be a question for Jax. If he can conceptualize that question, I would wanna ask him, and I think he would be like, "The fuck you mean change? Like, why would I change?" Like,
I'm perfect.
you know? Every kid is different and family's different, but that's my
Yeah,
opinion on it, being that I do have an autistic child. So,
I get that.
yeah, it'll be everybody's choice to make.
Well, just to
Dive
kind
in.
of yeah, truly dive in here, my nephew Jax, Amanda's son, was diagnosed with severe autism
Yeah.
around 1, before 1,
Yeah, I started with the process when he was like 12 months.
12 months,
Yeah.
and, he's gonna be 11 this New
Yeah.
Year's Eve,
Mhm.
which is crazy,
Yeah.
but, what were, like, some of the first signs that made you think, like, "Okay, something seems a little off, I need to get some tests, or I need to go
I'm sure
get
you
this checked
remember,
out."
like, anytime we went to dinner, he would flap
The
away.
flapping, yeah.
Like, I was like, "This guy's gonna flap himself to the damn moon if I don't figure this shit out," you know what I'm saying? So, I knew, like, something was awry, but
Yeah.
we never had that, like, a lot parents say they have that moment where they lost their son. I never had that moment with him. He presented signs pretty early on. He still made great eye contact. He would respond to, like, facial gestures.
Yeah.
Um, so I didn't see it, like, in the eyes. Like, sometimes you can look at an autistic kid, it's like they're looking past
Past you
you.
or, like, through you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he would make great eye contact. If you played with him, he would engage, he would smile and laugh. He
Did
still
he
does that.
respond to his name? Like, did that get his
He
attention?
did.
He did.
Yeah, he did respond to his name, but with the flapping, and I was like, "All right, maybe like 7, 8 months," especially if there was like a Nemo or any sort of Pixar, which he's still
And
obsessed
he
with.
wasn't talking.
He
Just
wasn't
nonverbal.
talking. He wasn't talking, no. That took a while. He was able to present language in a different way, but yeah, so we started at 12. I mean, I got, like, 3 different diagnoses for him because I just not because I didn't believe it, because I just wanted to, like, have 3 different opinions,
Yeah.
but they were all, pretty much severe. And I think, a lot of parents I have a couple of friends who are there's kids maybe like 2, 3, 4 even, and they have a feeling, but they're not doing diagnosis.
Yeah.
And, to me, that's my opinion, that's a big issue. I think that's more for the parent.
Yeah.
It's kind of a selfish decision because they don't wanna know or they're in denial or they're like, "Well, maybe let's see how he is in a year." You're losing really valuable time,
Time, yeah.
real valuable.
Those early years are really important.
Early intervention is super important, and before the age of 3 in California, it's their services are covered by the regional center.
Mm.
So if it's a financial burden, their services at your local regional center, they will pay for you to get, an evaluation. So we paid out of pocket for a couple different ones. I was our choice to make sure that, were, like, in line with the diagnosis, but there are services. It's crucial to do it early, and I think it's a big mistake when parents wait, um, and I just if your kid had anything else, you wouldn't wait and sit on
Yeah.
it. This isn't anything different, and ultimately, they're the ones who suffer. So I would encourage parents to get evaluated and take the resources. Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you? Like, what a little speech language.
Yeah, I
What's
remember him having, like, a lot of therapies, right?
Oh, yeah,
Speech
we'll
therapy.
dive into that. Like,
Yeah.
how could that hurt? And then if he doesn't need it and he grows out of it and he ends up not being autistic, okay, so,
Yeah.
what was the harm? It's a lot of work, but just in case to be on the safe side, I think, parents should if you have a feeling, if you have a gut feeling, you're probably right, and, don't sit on a diagnosis because we got it early.
Yeah. Do you remember being super emotional when you found
Oh,
out,
yeah.
or were you like, "Okay, plan of action," or a little bit of both?
In the very beginning, I was plan of action. And then we were in LA at the time, and it was a big catalyst for me to move actually to Irvine, to Orange County, excuse me, because I knew what the journey was gonna look like, and I learned that after 3, services go through the school district,
Mhm.
and I was like, "I don't
Not
wanna be
this
in
school
LA
district,
County school
yeah.
district, like,
Yeah.
absolutely not." So when I moved down here, I'm like, "I need to be in Irvine, or I need to be somewhere in Orange County where the school is good," because that's gonna be huge for him. His
Yeah.
entire individualized, educational program and IEP is gonna be through the school. So when we moved down here, I remember actually mom came over because I got my 3rd or 4th, evaluation for Jack, and they're like, "He's still very severe." And I had a moment, I was just like, had like a breakdown after maybe like a year and a half. So I'm like, they said he would never talk. There's so many things that they said that he would never
Never
do.
do.
And I was just like, wow. There's definitely a grieving process because you grieve the life that you thought your kid's
Yeah.
gonna have. So you're just, like, devastated for them. You're like, "What is their life going to look like? What's their quality of life gonna look for? Are they ever gonna experience this? Are they ever gonna experience that?" And that is a constant fear that you always think when you're an autistic parent. Like, what is 15 gonna look like? What's 20 gonna look like? What's 30 gonna look like? I cannot die. Like,
Yeah.
I need to live till
Take care
150
of him
years old
forever.
and
Yeah.
take care of them forever. So that's, like, a constant fear, but you definitely go through a grieving process, and then it's just like, "All right, now it's time." I don't haven't grieved in that way in a long time, since he was probably, like, 3 or 4 years old. I haven't had that grieving process. Now it's just been, like, total acceptance and, like, making his quality of life better and making decisions for him.
Yeah. Do you remember, like, mom and dad's reaction?
I think they weren't too surprised.
Yeah.
I don't remember dad's reaction.
I also feel like
Do
I
you
don't
remember
remember
yours?
no. No, I don't. I feel like I don't remember anything anymore. I'm getting old.
I don't
But
remember
I
theirs
feel like
either.
mom and dad, just from what I know of, like, just news like that, so I feel like they'd be like, "No, like, are you sure? Like, he's perfect. Like, maybe wait till he's older."
No, I
Or
think that because we have our cousin who's autistic, who's the same age of as Julia,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
he was
that's
very
true.
close to us. So remember,
True.
we went through all of that
Yeah, with
already,
him a little bit.
and
Yeah.
we later on experienced a little bit more of that on our side, the
I was gonna say,
mom's
I
side
feel
of the
like
family.
after Jack's, it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
one not one after the other, but, like, so much more than I like, you've ever expected, or,
Maybe that
it's
made
just
them go get
yeah.
diagnoses
I
because
feel
they
like there were things that we noticed and we're like, "Oh, that's, like, a little interesting," because
yeah,
you become aware,
yeah,
like, before that, like, honestly, I don't wanna say I didn't know what autism was before, like, Hendrik and Jack's, but it's like, it just makes you so aware
yeah,
of the different signs and,
yeah,
how they are, and then, like you said, I think maybe it kind of opened up the rest of the family's
yeah,
eyes to be like, "Huh, that's similar to them, like,
yeah,
maybe I should get this checked out," or
yeah.
even older
Even some of
people in
our
our
uncles
family
were
that
like,
have
"Girl, we knew
never
something was
yeah.
wrong with you for since day one."
But yeah, like it wasn't as prevalent,
No.
at least like it wasn't as open. People weren't as open as talking
Yeah,
about it, or people weren't getting diagnosed. Like we say
right.
undiagnosed, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like yeah, we say there's people in our family that have been undiagnosed and they're older and
So that
like
I was
high
undiagnosed. I'm like,
functioning, but
"Okay."
little like twerks here and there, but or
Yeah,
twerks, not twerks.
yeah. Not
Little
no
no twerking. um little
Dead.
quirks here and there, but yeah, the diagnosis, I feel like, started to, like, roll in after that.
And
Just
he's
in around the world, not even just in our
yeah.
family,
I mean,
obviously,
this
but
was what it still he's gonna be 11, so almost 9 years ago.
yeah.
But he's definitely the worst in our family. Even with Hendrik was, they would call it Asperger's back then, high functioning. I think today Jax is pretty high functioning,
Yeah,
not in a sense like, I would say the Love on the Spectrum boys, but they're also in their 20s, so, I
yeah,
mean, we can work towards that,
yeah, you don't
but
know
he
them, but
definitely had the most severe diagnosis. So, yeah, I don't know.
and they said he'll never speak,
Oh, yeah.
even with the therapies and everything.
They said he probably won't talk. There's a lot of, like, occupational things, which he still does occupational therapy for, that he wouldn't be able to do. A lot of self-help skills are really hard for him, really
Mm.
tough, like getting dressed, going to the bathroom, which we can talk about. That was really, really tough getting him to use the
Yeah,
restroom. Because I remember I'm like, "I gotta get this kid to shit in a toilet." Like, I just have to.
yeah,
It took a long time. So skills like that, like living on their own, being independent, um, yeah, he was very honest. He's like, I don't wanna say never, but I think they try to prepare you
yeah,
for what his life's gonna look like. But he is talking,
he is.
he is
Singing.
singing, he
Great
is
singer.
using the toilet, well, number 1 and number 2. He can get dressed by himself, his shirt might be on backwards, but he has the occupational skills to do things like that. He can brush his teeth. He can, fill his water bottle up, like, there's so many things that even, like, I'm surprised, like, now he'll after he has his little croissant or whatever, he'll do his own dish.
Mm,
I'm like, "Girl," like, we are just like, "What is happening?"
yeah,
But that's attributed to what his day looks like.
yeah, so he is very, like, routine, right?
Very routine. Routine is super important for him. Um, I think people don't realize that, like, not in a bad way, but Jules or mom sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, we have to be home by this time because Jack says this," or "We can't come because Jack's," and they're like, he can't run your life."
They
I'm like,
don't
"He
realize
has
how
to.
big of a deal it is,
He
yeah.
has to because I need to keep the status quo in my home." Like
Yeah,
when he is regimented and on schedule, the entire house is regimented on schedule, and it affects Olivia a lot too. Like she misses out on things or she's there for when he has, like a tantrum or something. So I like to keep the house as calm as I can
yeah,
because it's just almost like not fair. We know the fallout if he's not on his schedule. And he's a little bit better at adapting to changes, but it's crucial. He knows his days of the week. He knows Monday do this, Tuesday do this, Wednesday do this, and if something's awry, he's like and I feel like that's fair.
yeah,
You're managing your expectations. Like, can you imagine being trapped in your body and not being able to like like he can
yeah,
talk, but it's still very hard for him to express himself.
yeah,
His
so he just
receptive language is a lot better than his expressive.
yeah,
So
so it
it's
just
some
rattles him, and
yeah.
like you said, I remember you guys were talking about it, if John comes to pick him up any other day but Friday, he's like, "No."
Yeah.
He doesn't
He's
know what's
like,
happening.
what is because then he's like,
"Where's mom?"
in my yeah, in his head,
Yeah,
where's my mom? Did something happen to her?
yeah,
And he can think those thoughts in his head.
yeah,
He just can't express it. So then he's sitting there kind of anxious, like, well, okay, am I going to therapy? Like, what
yeah,
happened? So now, like, we instead of just thinking like, "Oh, he doesn't understand because he can't express it."
Yeah,
He'll be like,
he does.
"Uncle's picking you up because mommy's not feeling well," or "Uncle's picking you up because mommy has to work." And then he's kind of like, "Okay." So I think that's another thing that people do is they kinda write them off like,
Like,
"Oh,
they don't
he's not
understand or it's no
understanding."
different or
They under their receptive language, they understand. So I try to manage expectations all the time. So that helps our family in a big way. But yeah, his day is school in the morning. He has speech and OT. He has ABA. He has therapy every single day. He gets Friday off. And then,
all of that Monday through
yeah.
Thursday.
hmm
And he's been doing that since
Since he was 4. 3 and 4, yeah. So he started in preschool at 3, right at 3, and it's a long day for him. It's 8
yeah,
to almost 3. He comes home, he has ABA from 3:30 to 6:30. On the days he has therapy, he goes into the clinic from 2 to 4. It's like he
yeah,
works really hard, but he is okay as long as his schedule's managed, and then we
yeah.
make, movie time for him on Friday and Saturdays. He goes to Starbucks and get his croissant, and he just kinda, like,
Right.
hangs out around the house. He likes being outside, like, he's very easy to please in a sense like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't, like, ask for much, like, "I need my snacks, I need my Starbucks." He loves going to Ralph's, he'll shop, like, my pop chips,
He picks
cookies.
out all the
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, like, you gotta see him in the market, it's so hilarious, and sometimes he'll be like, "Do I have those?" Like, you could just see, like, the wheels turning. That's it, he's like a little old man.
Yeah.
And but that's why, like, he's really close to his uncle. They love to hang out because they do the same stuff. They're on their phones or iPads. They watch football. He watches his thing. They go to Starbucks. They go to Ralph's. They do their little shopping, their 4 items.
Simple life that they
Simple.
love.
Give me my movie. Give me my pizza. Like, that's it. I'm good.
Yeah. I remember, like, vaguely, because like I said, I feel like I can't remember anything anymore. Being there when he had his therapy and the different therapists coming out, "How was it today?" "Oh, today was really rough,"
Yeah.
or "Today you did really well," and,
Yeah.
like, things that they could progress, and, like, I feel like for a while it was kind of like up,
Oh,
down,
yeah.
up, down, up, down, up, down, and I feel more recently it's been a lot of just up, and,
Yep.
like, I've seen so many, like, positive changes in him in the last, like, 2 years, I would
Yeah.
say, like, have really made a difference, and I said, actually, Webb said, my husband, he was like, "I've noticed such a difference from when I first met Jax, which was
Yeah.
about 2 years ago,
Yeah.
till now," and, like, he was at my house the other night, he's so playful and loving and happy, and he's singing a lot more, which I love. He has a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
I try to record him whenever I can, but I have to record him from behind.
Oh,
He can't
yeah.
see me,
Can't mess up his.
and I can't sing with him.
No,
He gets really upset.
absolutely not.
Or if he feels he is off key, he will yell at himself and start over. That's also oh, okay, again. And
Yeah.
he's such a little, like, ray of sunshine. He
Yeah.
really is, and I could totally understand, like, even as adults, we don't like when our routine is disrupted,
Right.
right? Like, we wanna know what's happening, we
Right.
wanna know when it's coming, we have our schedules, when something is out of place, it kind of, it rattles you, or
Yeah.
you're uncomfortable, you feel like, "Why is this? Oh, because I didn't do that today, or didn't do that."
Yes.
And it does make a difference, so I could imagine how, for him, it's even that much more important
Yep.
because that's what he relies on.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I want, like, you know, it takes a village, and, like, the
Yeah,
village kinda needs to understand, like, the way that things kinda work and just respect
yeah,
it and make accommodations. I know, like, my whole life is my whole schedule, my work schedule, everything is built
revolves around
around
him, yeah.
him, and people are like, "I don't understand, like, why you do that." But I think the proof in the pudding for me is
Yeah,
my son is a really happy child.
yeah.
He's a
It
really happy kid, and he goes to school with a lot of autistic kids. He's in a special class, and I witness them all the time and throwing tantrums. It's very few and far between that he's like that. It took a while, but I think that's because we really respect his routine, and we talk to him. We let him know what's going on. He's really, like, revered and loved in our house.
yeah,
He
he's
feels
the
very
king.
he's the king of the house, like, he runs the show, and it's always gonna be like that, and he's just really happy, and he's so affectionate and loving,
Mhm.
like, he's hugging, he'll come up and smell you, like, he's just all the things that we thought he wasn't going to
Yeah,
be. I think that's attributed to just pouring into him because they hear stuff.
yeah,
When you're frustrated with them, that I told it's like that they get that I'm bad, like, they feel the
yeah,
burden, and that's why they get angry, and I'm not saying that, every autistic kid is different, so this is I don't want this to be a blanket,
yeah,
I know parents have different experiences, and I'm not saying that Jax never crashes out because he does. But I think, they feel this is what I want to talk about with social media too, because it drives me crazy. When I think parents who have all these autistic kids on social media, I think it's great to kind of like commiserate in a funny way, like, just my son crashing out or funny memes with autism, like I'm all for it. But I feel like showing your kid tantruming sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I am so against that. Like, I'm sure I'm gonna get backlash from this, and it's like, this is what our day looks. This is what we do every day." Like, you don't think they feel that?
Yeah.
They
They don't have a say.
absolutely feel that, and they don't have a say.
Yeah.
That's why I don't post Jax on my Instagram. I wouldn't post him crashing out because he he can't say, like, "Why are you doing that?" Like,
Yeah.
my daughter would be like, "What the F's wrong with you? Don't post that," like, they would lose their mind.
Yeah.
So he would do the same thing, and he feels it, and he's probably like, "Why are they doing this? Why are they posting?" Like, "I'm crying, I'm upset, I'm
Why are you
frustrated, and you're
filming
making a
me?
post out of
Yeah.
it." Like, I think that thought process is there in a sense.
Yeah.
And I think it's exploitive. I feel like if you wanna do something that's, like, funny or maybe, like, get their consent, especially when they're 10 or 15, if you
Or, like,
can,
highlighting, like, a
highlight
milestone
it.
or something that's
Something
positive.
make
That's
it
like, "Wow, I did
positive.
this today." Yeah.
Like, there's so many things that I could like, why would I do that to him?
Yeah.
It's an invasion of, like, his privacy and his struggles, like, why would you do that? I they get pissed. Like, why wouldn't they? A normal kid would be like, "What the hell's
Why are
wrong
you
with
doing
you?"
that? Yeah.
And I
Well, even say, "Don't post, like, an ugly photo of me." Like,
seriously,
"I
me
hate that photo,
too.
don't post it,"
Oh my god,
Like,
every
I'd be
sausage
pissed.
picture, I'm like, "Y'all just don't care about me." Like, I look like the sausage from what's the bug A Bug's Life? You know what I'm talking about? Oh,
Oh.
girl, I gotta post it for you.
The caterpillar?
The
Oh, I
caterpillar
was
from
like,
A
"The
Bug's Life.
sausage."
Yeah, sorry. I'm like, there's
The
so
green one?
yes. When I was going through my, what's it called? Postpartum, and of course, you and Jules were this big, and I'm like, here I am, the damn butterfly from whatever that movie is, and you guys just don't care. So yeah, like in Housewives, like she's pissed because it's fatty
Yeah,
photos like
yeah.
circulating. So they feel the same way. Like, what the
Yeah,
is wrong with you? I'm crashing out right now.
yeah.
And it's for
Let
the
me have my
parent.
moment, yeah.
It's like, "Oh, feel bad for me. Like, this is what my day is like." If you didn't, you know, don't do that.
Yeah,
It's not good. It makes me sad to see that. I wanna just shake them and be like, like, "That's just for you.
yeah.
That's not for that your kid." I don't know what it does for them. And again, that's a controversial thing, but,
I also think, like you said, like, your whole household, um, loves Jack so much and is, like, happy to do his routine and happy to keep him happy because it
mhm.
affects everyone,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I think a huge like, I have to say, like, Liv is such an amazing big
Oh, yeah.
sister, and I think that plays a huge role also because some of these families might
Yeah.
have other siblings that are either, like, too close in age or they're, like, they just can't understand,
Yeah.
and so it makes it harder to,
Yeah.
like, keep the peace in the household. But Olivia is just the best big sister. She's so loving, and I'm
She's
sure,
amazing.
like, she gets frustrated.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you said, she has to miss out on things, or she'd be like, "Mom, you love Jax more than me."
Oh,
Like,
yes.
the things that she says,
Yes.
You only care about Jax's dinner, Mom, of course. Like, what
Right.
about what I want for dinner?" And she had her moments, and I think she's growing out of it and understanding more and more. Like, and they weren't even like, she wasn't even,
No.
as far as I could see, she wasn't even really that bad. She was
No.
just being a normal kid. And
It's like
you
if
can,
there was a snack that was his or if there's only ground beef, and I would be
yeah,
like, "Liv, I'm sorry, but
it's for
it's
Jax.
for Jax.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta figure
And
something
she's
else
like, "So I
out."
have to starve?"
Exactly, like, so dramatic, but I could be like, "What the heck?" But it's like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah,
Like, we gotta just let this
yeah,
guy have his food, and
and he loves her, like, they're so cute together.
yeah, she's like a little mom.
Yeah,
I mean, she watches him for me sometimes when I have to go to work, and I don't trust any sitters. That's been a whole nightmare. I've had a couple of situations. But I don't want anybody in my house watching him. So she steps up to the plate a lot, and she messes with him too. Like, she'll
yeah,
grab his iPad and run, and I'm like, "Girl." But I'm like, if they were just like
yeah,
two normal kids, you wouldn't say anything because they would just be messing with each other. But like she does F with him a lot.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So part of me is like, just let her like get her thing vengeance out or whatever,
Because
because
90% of the time she's
exactly. She's so good,
good
and I'm
job.
really blessed, but, she's been in therapy for
Yeah,
5 years. I mean, the catalyst was my divorce, putting in her into therapy, but, she's got a lot on her plate with that and a special needs brother and a single mother, like, it's from her perspective, it's a tough balance because it's really me and her and then him, you
Yeah.
know? Like, sometimes she's not I don't wanna say she's my teammate because
Yeah.
I'm the mom no matter what, but sometimes I do need her to step up, and it is what it is, and she does it every time. She's incredible. I always say God gave me her first. She's so smart, she's so empathetic, like, she's just the best
Gosh.
big sister, and, not everybody has that, and some
Yeah.
families have 2 autistic kids.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's just the workload, it's a
Yeah.
lot. It's a lot of work, but it's worth
Just
it.
really quickly on that, like how because Jax is so into his routine. I mean, I know a little bit about this just from hearing over the years, but how tough is it for him to go to Jason's and then to your house? Like, does that really rattle him, or does
Yeah.
he have his routines there with dad? He knows this is my routine, this is my routine with mom, or
Well, the problem is dad has a very, um
his schedule's all over
his
the place.
schedule's all over
Yeah,
the place,
so
and
it's hard for him to do routine.
this is one of our biggest, issues, co-parenting together. I obviously have majority custody. Um, Now Jax is vehemently saying, "No. Daddy's pick you up? No. Mommy's pick you up." And I'm just like, "Okay." And Jason will say, if you just let me pick him up, like, he'll be fine." I'm like, "I don't wanna do that to him.
Yeah,
I don't wanna say mom's picking you up, and then you show up. I don't want him to lose trust in me. Like, that's
yeah,
just not cool." And so he has a hard time understanding. You can't be here every other Wednesday. He'll leave for 4 months. He'll go do shooting or whatever. Like, it's not fair to him. And now that he's older, I'm like, I ask Olivia, and if Olivia doesn't wanna go, it's up to her because she's 13.
yeah,
So why am I not gonna respect what Jack says?
yeah.
It's very tough, and, he's remarried, not
Not
remarried.
remarried.
Oh, sorry,
It's a
what's it called?
girlfriend.
Yeah, he has a girlfriend, but they have,
They've
2
been
kids,
together,
so
yeah.
it's different because that's not his throne. Like,
Yeah,
my house is his throne, and so he likes being with me because he doesn't like, he's like, "Why is this person here, and where are my snacks, and do they have the pop chips, and, like, what's going on?"
yeah.
So I think as he's getting older, he's just like, "Nah, I'm good. It's Wednesday, you haven't been here, and mom's picking you up." So
Yeah, he has no problem saying no now.
oh, yeah.
I've noticed a lot more. "You wanna go here? Nope.
Yeah.
You want this? Nope. Can auntie do that? Nope."
No chance.
When he says yes, I'm like, "Oh, really?" I
Right.
feel very special.
Oh,
I feel like,
yeah.
it's been a lot of no's. We got one yes. We're
Yeah,
good.
you
We're getting
say
the right
no coming here
direction.
all the time.
Yeah.
And I now recently, like, now when we come because we didn't come that often, there was, like, a little period, I don't know, and Cam would be like, "Can I pick Jackson from school, or can he come over?" And I'm like, "You don't understand." Like, he's no.
Yeah.
The answer is no. But now he's like, "Okay." Like, even going to your
I
house.
think he likes my house.
He does.
He likes to wrestle there.
Yeah, he does.
He feels
He's
comfortable.
Yeah, he's getting, like, once he's kinda it takes him a while, he's a slow burn.
Yeah.
But once he gets there, he's like, "Alright, this ain't bad.
Good
Vibe's
on
pretty
him.
good, there's some snacks," you know? He's good.
Vibe's good. Vibe check.
The vibes are
He's the
good.
main vibe checker.
Seriously,
You're
your
like,
vibes are out, he's
"Jax." We're
out.
gonna bring Jax in front of everyone as a, "What do you think about this guy?"
Out
"Nope."
right away. Aura, not working. Move on, next. He's
Yeah.
so like that. There's no, like, bullshit meter with him.
Which is, like, common, right?
Oh,
In a
yeah.
lot of them, that's,
Yeah.
like, kind of
That's when they
their
say, like,
response.
I was autistic, like, in that sense, I feel like I am, because I
That and when
have,
you
like,
flutter your
no
eyeballs.
oh girl, this is when I see him, like, flapping around, I'm like, that guy was made for me, because I don't flap. I mean, I don't want you guys to think I'm like I mean, but I feel like I have, like, quirky things
Yeah,
about me, So, just, like, I if somebody just, like, made for you, that's why when they're saying all this stuff, like, Tylenol and this and that, and it could have been prevented, I'm like, "Do we want it to be, though?" Like, he's
yeah,
so special the way that he is. I couldn't imagine him any other way.
yeah,
Like, I don't even know what that would look like. There's so many, like, highlights to him being who he is.
yeah,
So, yeah, I love because I had a miscarriage in between Jax and Olivia. I almost feel like God was like, "Girl, that one wasn't it. Like, I got one for you. Like, this guy is it. Trust me." And I'm like, "Yes."
yeah.
And just like I'm obsessed with him.
He was made for you.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's my dog.
Um, okay. Would you now, I mean, not that he's, a full grown adult or
No.
anything, but he's gonna be 11, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would go back and change how you did if you could? Like you said, you were talking a little bit about like the vaccines and stuff,
Oh,
immunizations, like,
I would do that anyways.
yeah,
Like, you're I mean, not getting, you're on that journey. I would slow it down.
yeah,
I don't not even just because of, like, I would be afraid of that because I already have an autistic kid, and I do think that's in our, like, gene pool, even though
yeah,
we're not really sure. I would slow it down. That just scares me in general.
yeah.
Like, one of my best friends is, a doctor, and she's super smart, and when she had her baby, she's like, "I'm not listening to that. Like, there's no way I need to be injecting." So, if I had a baby today, I would really, really, like, fight to make sure, and
So as far as like
they're
spreading
doing
them
that,
out or
spreading them
not
out.
getting certain ones.
Well, like, they said, like, hepatitis B, like, what's the reason
Yeah,
for
that one,
that?
yeah, that's a big
But I
one.
think, they're doing some work to make the schedule a little less, convoluted, so hopefully that progress will be made, and then because the thing is the school, like, mandates
Yeah, they
it.
mandate it, yeah, to be able to
Yeah.
go to school.
So, there's a couple of things that we waited on, like, I think he's supposed to like, he's ready for more vaccines. I don't know if we're past that point already, like, when they're 11, they get, like, 11-year-old vaccines, but I would slow it down. I can't, like, go back in past and be like, "Would I do this differently?" Because I did the same thing with both of them, and I just but my doctor was a little bit more old school, like,
Yeah.
um she was old school, so she didn't do as many as they would do today.
Mhm.
So I remember he would maybe get, like, 1 or 2 or 3 in one or 3 on a day, and then she would spread them out, so she was at least a little bit better about that. I remember I liked her for that reason. But yeah, I
More
would
conservative.
conservative. I would slow it down.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, you don't know what you don't know, so, like, you can't go back and, like, or you can't beat yourself up, like you said, even with the RFK stuff
Yeah,
coming out now, it's like, "Okay, well, cool, but this was my story,
right,
and everyone has their story, and there's a
right.
reason, why you have Jax."
Yeah,
And, yeah, you can't really beat yourself up about it because you don't know what you don't know.
yeah, and it's always like, you could go back. I mean, you could say that about anything, but you'll get stuck on it. So I try not to think that. But yeah, if you have information for the future,
Yeah.
of course, use it. But, autism's a little tricky. If my kid was sick, like, if they were sick and they got, like, a cancer diagnosis or something like that, of course, I would make if I could just go back or if we could eradicate, like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's very different when you have a disease or something like that, of
Yeah.
course, but I feel like autism it's like it's who they are,
That's
it's a
who
part
they
of their
are, yeah.
personality.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky way to look at it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? It's a hard thing to it's so much of who he is. It is a neurological disorder. A lot of autistic kids, though, they have, like, seizures, they have other issues, so maybe things like that, because you want their quality of life
Life
to
to
be
be
better.
better. Yeah.
But it's tough.
I think that's the biggest thing is just
Yeah.
their quality of life, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, you're like, you think about all those years and those milestones and what they're gonna look like. And watching, like you mentioned earlier, Love on the Spectrum, which I just recently watched when I went through IVF and I was on bed rest.
Mhm.
And I never really watched it before. And
Oh my gosh, really?
yeah, I know. And I absolutely fell in love with so many of the people on that show. And you were like, "I love it too," but, like, it kind of, like, glamorizes it a
Yeah.
little bit because they are pretty high functioning.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're all talking, they're dating, some of them live alone,
Right.
They're very much out in the world
Yeah.
to an extent, so you're like, "I love it," but, like, that's not my experience, or I mean, you don't know, I guess,
Right, it
how
can
Jax is
be.
going to be, but
It can be, but yeah.
it's not everyone's, right?
Right.
Because there are a lot of people,
Yeah.
like you said, that
And
I would say I wouldn't
profound.
even say, like, I don't know, I would never even think of Jax as severe because I have seen
Yeah.
kids that hit and bite and throw tantrums and
Mhm.
all of that, and I don't know what makes that difference, like you said.
That's a behavioral challenge. So
Yeah,
they could be, like, as far as, like, cognitively, like, as severe, but I think his behavioral challenges, and this is my opinion, like I said earlier, I feel like that's more influenced by
His environment.
environment.
Yeah. I was gonna say that.
So maybe if I didn't stick to his schedule and, who knows, 100 other things could be different. I'm
Yeah.
very, very, very grateful and blessed, although I worked very, very hard to maintain, my home and keep him in the school district. Like it's a lot of moving parts. But if I was still in LA and he had bullies, like I don't know.
Yeah.
There's so many like factors that come into play. So you got to be your kid's biggest advocate. To like, I have to move. Like, I think about like I live across the street from Olivia's school because I need her to be able to get herself to school
Yeah.
because Jax has to be at school at this time and it takes us 15 minutes to walk because God forbid, he has to sing his song and the tune isn't right.
He walks to school?
No, but I'm saying
Oh.
we have to park and then walk to his
Yeah,
class.
yeah, yeah.
If he's in the middle of a tune and the tune ain't right, we gotta start
Go
over.
back.
So I have like there's so many things that I have to do that people don't think about.
Yeah.
Like I have to make sure that's okay, and then I have to be close to his therapy, and then I have to time Olivia's softball. Like everything I do is just like to make sure this kid's day is stacked. It is a
Yeah.
full-time job
Yeah.
on top of a full-time job, on top of having another child. It is a lot of work. It's
Yeah.
so much work.
So, like, as amazing as he is, like, you still have to put in
Oh, yeah.
so much effort,
Oh,
even
yeah.
though he very rarely throws the tantrums or is upset. It is still a full-time job
Yeah.
all day,
Yeah.
and
But I'm also blessed, like, I do have resources. As hard as I can say, like, and everybody's it's relative.
yeah,
People will be like, "Oh, I wish I could be in your situation." And I understand. And there's, families where it's like, "Okay, I wish I had a partner. I wasn't a single mom." Like, you
yeah,
can always like wish and hope, but I'm very grateful and I'm, blessed to have resources and be able to do what I do. So I can imagine parents who don't have as many resources and you're fighting for funding and you're looking for therapy and you're trying to get it covered with insurance, like it's really tough. It's tough. And again, I think that's what contributes to behaviorally. So they may be all on the same level cognitively as severe as Jax is, but it's a lot of work. Does this make you afraid to what if you have an autistic kid?
and I have an autistic kid.
Does it scare you?
I wanna have a kid, so,
Yeah.
I'll take what the good Lord gives me,
Yeah.
hopefully someday.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can imagine. I mean, all I have to do really right now is worry about myself. So
Yeah.
I can imagine. And I feel like the supportive family too is really important, especially in those earlier years.
Yeah.
Um, just
I'm having a partner. I think people were
having a
like
partner, yeah.
saying in our first episode, like I'm a man hater or whatever. My partner, my ex-husband, he just was not around. Like, he had a job that took him away, so I feel like I've it was been always been a single mother, and that's ultimately what led to us, like, not sustaining our marriage. But that's when I, like, say, like, make sure who you have kids with because it's a two-person job for a reason.
Yeah.
It requires a penis and a vagina for a reason. Sorry,
Yeah.
whatever anybody else thinks, that's what I believe. However you get there, IVF, it requires because it's a two-person job.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard, even if you have somebody solely providing and then being a caretaker,
Yeah.
because being a caretaker is so emotionally
Yeah.
draining that when you have to worry about that and money, like, it shouldn't be that way. When I have to worry about providing and being the emotional, it's like, "Girl,
Charlie Kirk
is
said.
there enough wine around me at all times to get to" exactly. So I do believe in that principle, of course. Like find a good partner to have children with. And men can't do what we can do. So if they can provide or at least, be a stable person for
Yeah.
you, even just to bring the temperature down in your
Just have that
house. Like
strong.
sometimes I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna kill everybody if somebody doesn't help me. And then it's like, just breathe. So it's important. I believe in that. I'm past that point now. I'm not starting a family anymore. So, but I already did that. I
Yeah.
got married. I had the kids. It didn't work out. So I'm not saying no. For me, I believe you should get married and have kids and have a partner. It is hard. It's great, but it's hard. You know?
Yeah.
Are you scared?
No. No, I'm not.
Never too late to have these These are conversations people should have with their spouse
Yeah.
before having kids. What is it gonna look like? Are you gonna provide? Are you gonna resent me for not working? You know? I
Yeah.
wish I had conversations like that because I feel like my ex did. And I was like,
Yeah.
you knew I was like, you knew the, what do you mean? How can you resent me? I'm raising our kids.
Yeah.
If you expect me to work, then we gotta change the vibe.
No, it's true.
You gotta have those conversations. What does it look like realistically for
Yeah.
us?
Well, I mean, not to keep bringing him up, but I watched something Charlie Kirk was talking
Yeah,
to
bring him up. He said a lot of good,
so
valid
much on the
points.
family, and he was saying when you're in the dating phase, he was like, "You should ask these questions." Like, he was saying for the guy, ask her, like, okay, say if she says, "I wanna be a stay-at-home mom, I wanna cook, I wanna be a homemaker, I wanna be the wife, like, I don't wanna work."
Yeah,
He's like, "Kinda, like, put that to the test a little." Maybe be like, "Okay, do you wanna, like, make dinner or whatever?" And he's like, "Not that your person has to, like, cook the best food or whatever, but,
right.
like, does she actually enjoy it, or does she is she just saying it because
Yeah,
it sounds good? Like, is
yeah,
it something that she's gonna resent later?" Like you said, like,
yeah.
"Oh, well, I didn't get to work, or I didn't get to go out and, like,
Right.
do these things." It's like asking those questions or kinda putting it to the test. He said just, like, going on a road trip, not staying in the same
Yeah,
hotel room together and doing all that stuff, but, like, going on a road trip and just talking and putting yourself in uncomfortable
yeah.
situations with someone, because when you're in those uncomfortable situations, you see how people respond,
Oh, yes.
and that is huge, right? Because if
Mhm.
everything's great and you're in love and you're in La La Land and you're going on vacations and you're just celebrating all the time and it's all fresh and fun,
Yeah,
like, when real life
that's not the
happens,
test.
then you're like, "Oh, I did not know you were gonna shut down and walk away," or, "I
Yeah,
didn't know you were gonna," like, what the heck?
yep.
So, I feel like that's huge, and I do believe, like, Webb and I did go through a lot of hard stuff in the beginning, and we've only been married a year. We've gone through some things, he was going through a divorce, and that was really hard for us, really challenging for me to really weigh my options, like, "Is this something I really want?" um, talking about having kids, like, this is what I want, because in my last relationship, I said that in the beginning and I don't think they took me seriously. And 3 years later, I don't want to say I wasted time, but I did. And it
Yeah,
was like, those are years I can't get back. And so having those conversations and then going through IVF together was extremely challenging. And, it was hard for us.
yeah,
And I was, almost like, should we have waited and let ourselves, like, have that honeymoon phase of a marriage for, like, 1 year? But again, I'm like, I'm 38 years old. Like,
yeah,
I don't need the honeymoon. Like, I
yeah,
want, I know I'm no stranger to, like, hardships, and neither is he. And so it really does, though, open your eyes to things.
yeah,
I learned a lot about him. He learned a lot about me because
yeah.
we were both struggling.
How you respond to conflict
Yeah.
and how you're able to, like, do you crack under pressure?
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. You be cracking left and right, and you Olivia will send me, like, a message for, like, $200 pair of shoes. I'll be having the worst day of my life. I'll have $4 in my bank account, and she'll be like, "Can you
Can I
buy me
get
these?"
these?
Like, they just don't get it.
Yeah.
So any hardship that you face as a single person and even as a married couple without kids, it's tenfold. Like, when I had
Yeah.
cancer, like, I didn't have, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like they get it, but they don't get
They
it.
don't get it.
And you just so everything is, like, it's so much more
Yeah,
difficult
and
because
I'm
you
sure
have
Jack
to.
can feel your energy, and he
Yeah,
knows, like, he may not really understand,
right.
"Oh, why is mom like this?" But he's like, "Mom's not happy.
Yeah,
Something's wrong with mom,"
yeah,
Like, he for sure can sense that,
yeah,
and
and it's
it affects
frustrating.
everyone, and it's
Affects
frustrating, yeah.
everybody. So when there's a lot of chaos in the house, everybody is it's hard. So, yeah, definitely have those conversations before, especially if you have an autistic kid. The statistics for married people staying together are not well.
Really?
Yeah, it's high. It's high.
Of divorce.
Mhm. I mean, it's high regardless, but if you have a special needs child, it's tough. I mean, it pulls people apart, pulls the intimacy away. You're
Yeah,
so focused on, especially moms, it's like, that was it. Once I found that out, it's
that's
honestly,
all
it's
you
like,
were focused on.
all I was focused on, and I didn't make time for him, and, yeah, you need to be able to do that.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's all real hard. I feel like we don't talk about that enough. That's why when I see all these relationships on Instagram, I'm like, "How happy are they?" You know?
The highlight reel.
The highlight reel.
Yeah.
I never post anything.
I have a love-hate with social media.
I think everybody does. Actually, no, they don't. Okay.
All right. Well, I think we touched on everything. Is there anything you think we left out? Anything else you wanna close with
I
regarding?
mean, I think it'll be an ongoing topic for
Yeah.
us. I would love to address questions whenever we get them
Yeah, we were having a little bit of a delay in getting things up and running, so we
because
haven't
our
been able
dad's
to
trying to steal our spotlight.
we
So
haven't
he,
been able to answer
so
questions.
all of his videos are going.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm just
Dang it,
kidding.
dad, he's already famous.
He's taking care of everything. So
But yeah, so by the time we are doing our next episode, we will have some more videos up so we can look at comments and questions and we will address those. We haven't been able to do that yet. So if you guys have anything else, you
yeah.
can put that up for the next episode. We'll address, but we're going to stick mainly to as much as we can, unless,
Hopefully nothing crazy
heaven forbid,
happens.
nothing crazy
I think we've
happens
had
in the
enough
next week.
craziness.
Exactly. We need to like simmer a little bit, but
Yeah.
we're gonna keep it a little bit more on lifestyle and, family,
Yeah.
topics for the next few weeks. So, yeah, we'll address some questions and see you guys next week. But first, a
Oh yeah. What's
question.
our one? One
I'm
question
gonna
for
ask
each other.
yeah,
Okay, go.
question for you. Well, actually, this is your question,
Okay.
but I'll ask first.
Question for
Okay, fine, you
you.
ask
I already
first.
have my answer in my head for you, but let's see what your answer is. What is one thing that you like that nobody else in our family likes, excluding your spouse? So in
Excluding.
yeah, if you bear the name
Ooh,
Franzese.
okay, I was gonna say because there is one other person that likes what I like.
Oh, I was gonna say, no, you have to bear the Franzese
Okay,
name
in the family.
in the family.
Um The thing that everyone makes fun of me for or, gives me a little slack on is waking up early on
Oh, yeah, that's
vacation
it.
to, like, go on a hike or
No
watch the
chance.
sunrise on a hike. I'll get up at, like, 4,
No chance.
drive out. We did a lot of that in Hawaii. Jules would make fun of me when we went to our first Italy trip together. She would send me all those memes, it was like those people where they're like, "Oh, you guys just woke up? Well, I just, like, swam with the dolphins and went on
Yeah,
a 4-mile hike and did all that
yeah.
stuff. You guys are just getting up? Well, that's okay. You're sleeping in today?" So, yeah, that I do enjoy that, but I will have to say, as I am getting older,
You're calming down?
I'm coming down. Like,
Girl.
my last few trips, I'm like, I need a little bit more half and half where I was like, "These are designated sleep in, you're not allowed to plan anything days," because sometimes I come back from vacation, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I don't
So, I might be making a change, but I know
that's a lot.
none of you guys like
And the other thing is, like, every gym you have to see. It could be the best gym in the
you
world.
don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I will not step foot in a gym while I'm on
Yeah.
vacation. I
It's
never
definitely
did.
changing for me, but the problem is Webb was like me 2 years ago, so now I'm like, he wants to see every gym, he wants to do it, so it's like,
Just
I'm
let him
trying to pull
go.
away a little bit, I know, I'm like, "I'm sleeping in, you can go to the gym."
Yeah. Or, like, not even sleep in because I feel like breakfast on vacation for some
Yeah,
reason is, like,
it's
always so
really
much
nice.
better.
Yeah,
And, like, an 8 o'clock
yeah,
breakfast.
and I'll still wake up early, but sometimes
Yeah.
it's nice to just lay in bed and drink a cup of coffee and not, like,
And
have
no
plans. I
excursions.
know.
I don't like any
I'm getting better,
excursions.
I'm getting better.
Okay.
So, okay,
God, mine's
question back at
boring.
you. What do you like that no one else likes? I can't think of anything right now.
I think this is not fun, but I really love rock and roll music. I don't think anybody else does.
Yeah, no.
Like blood pumping rock and roll, like Guns N' Roses, like old
Yeah, you
school,
do. That's the
even like
music that,
90s
like,
rock and
gets your
roll.
spin.
Like I'm like a huge rock and
I
roll
don't hate
fanatic.
it. Like, it's fun in a workout
Oof.
class, but I'm not listening to it in my
Oh,
downtime
me
or
too.
my free time.
I had Kickstart My Heart on the way
I
here.
know, what did Liv say about your music the other night?
What?
She's like, "Mom, at least this is better than your music." She's like,
Oh,
whatever. I was like,
no,
"What music is
she
that?"
means like when you have like hard hitting beats for like a class. It's not rock and roll because she likes rock and roll.
She does?
Yeah, she
Well,
does.
she's your daughter. She's probably like, I feel like it's like what you kind of are listening to.
Yeah, she's used
Kind
I
of
mean, she
fits
loves
your
country. That's another all you guys like
I love
country
country.
music. I cannot deal with the country. That's why I'm the only person who likes rock and roll. That's it.
Yeah, you might be. John
That's
doesn't
it.
like it?
Yeah, he does.
He's a
Damn it.
Pisces.
I didn't think about it like that. Only because we're like so close.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does like rock and roll. Dang it. So that doesn't count?
We can say
Okay, we can say it counts.
cat.
Alright, yeah, that was a good one. I like that question.
That's a good one. Yeah. We can play around with fun questions at the end just to like lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah. Can
Even
you imagine dad listening to, like, Guns N' Roses?
no.
No, right?
Dad is like humming tunes all day long of Frank Sinatra.
Yeah. Or Mark Anthony.
He loves. Is it Mark Anthony? Yeah.
Yeah, or Gloria Estefan.
Yeah, he does love the Latin music, that guy.
Yeah, well, it's 'cause he married a Latin woman, duh.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today, and we will see you next time on
Girl, bye.